Hello, everyone. Welcome to Expert Media Webinars. Can everyone see my screen and hear my voice? If you can, please let me know in the comments area. I'd appreciate it. And once I hear from you all, we will dive into tonight's training, which we're going to be talking about IngramSpark's new book builder tool. I don't know if any of you have heard about this yet or if you've used it. I was curious and a little bit skeptical just because, after Amazon Kindle's book builder, which was pretty much crap, I I thought, honestly, here we go again. But actually, I was pleasantly surprised, and it's pretty cool. So we're going to go through that tonight. That's going to be our focus. Sounds like you can all see me and hear me perfectly, so that's good news. It's just me and the moon. I actually have the moon sitting next to me. It's glowing. Who doesn't need a little full moon in their life, So anyway, let me go full screen here. And let's get into it. I have nothing pre-planned. Well, I do from a content perspective, but I haven't made up anything ahead of time. So we're going to do a lot of this on the fly, which sounds exciting. And I'm not quite sure how long it'll take, but it'll take as long as it takes. How's that? So, all right. So using the book builder, IngramSpark's new book builder tool is a surprising book design option. And I found that it has a decent number of easy to use formatting tools. They have, well, we'll get into it. They can handle both your book cover and interior. And the thing that I like about it is that because you're using their tool, all of the controls and everything that are in there are perfectly set up to give them and provide them the exact files that they need. And that's a pretty awesome thing. Excuse me. And of course, it perfectly complements IngramSpark's excellent publishing standards, which out of all the on-demand companies, they probably are still my favorite. I'd love to see them get away from charging the setup fee that they charge, but that aside, their quality is just the best, in my opinion. The tool itself is free to use. There's no cost involved, and the setup fee you don't have to pay for before designing your book or anything like that, which is nice. I wasn't sure how that would go. And of course, it also handles your text formatting through templates and styles. They have a lot of predetermined styles or templates, I guess, for your book interior. And, they're not bad. They're pretty decent. They're very easy to use. It's very similar to using style sheets in Adobe InDesign or Affinity Publisher. It works very, very similarly. And so if you have any familiarity at all with working with style sheets in text layout programs, this will be second nature. If you've never used style sheets before in designing a book, then you'll see how easy it is from a formatting perspective once we get into our case study. So there is a list of things that you're going to need to use IngramSpark's book building tool. And this is pretty much common sense, honestly. You need your book text. So there's that. And cover design art. Now, in their cover design section, they have some very, very basic templates. While I love the book text templates, I'm not a big fan of the cover design. It's very, very limited, very simple, which you may be fine with that. Being a cover designer, I am not. So, but you'll need some form of cover design art. back cover copy, whatever you want to include there. And that includes like your text, any author photo or images, anything like that. Anything you would normally include on the back cover of a book, which, you know, that can range quite a bit depending on the kind of book you're creating and the information that you want to have on your back cover. Typically, it's at the very least a summary of the book, sometimes an author picture and bio, sometimes the like a publishing logo and contact information. Definitely, there is a space for a barcode, which leads me to what you will also need in working with IngramSpark, and that is an ISBN. And of course, you can obtain those from myidentifiers.com, which is the Bowker website. They pretty much handle all ISBN sales in the US. So the process itself is pretty straightforward. Essentially, it's plug and play. And you'll see what I mean whenever we get into it here. All right, so let's switch over here to a browser. And I'm going to log into one of my accounts here. Not that one. We'll go with that one. All right. So you'll see right here at the top, it says create your book with our book building tool. Click the button. And it'll bring up this video. So what we're really interested in here in this case is just a print book. So I'm going to click on that. As always, Ingram has a $49 setup fee, which you do not have to pay until after your book is done. Okay, so you'll see that that's checked. Do you have files ready to upload? Yes, all my files are ready. No, I would like to see the available options. No, but I will enter my title information and submit files later. So let's pick the middle one here. How would you like to create your files? Use IngramSpark's book building tool with print, distribute, and sell, or use IngramSpark's book building tool for print only. So like if you want to or plan to publish your book so that it goes on to Amazon and all the other distribution and everything, you would pick number one. If you're just wanting to publish it straight up to get prints of your book or printed copies of your book, the middle one is the one that you would choose. And they both work the same way, essentially, from a design perspective. So we're just going to go with the middle one here. And of course, it pops up this same video again, which explains everything. I would encourage you to watch that. And so next, we're going to hit continue. And this is where we have to enter in our information. So what I'm going to do as a sample book is I'm going to use some of the text from my library chronicles that I've been writing for the last couple years. Some of you are familiar with some of that because I talked about it in Nerd Unscripted last year. So title, we'll just call it the Library Chronicles. Okay, now I need an ISBN. So get to my identifiers and log in. Now I already have ISBNs that I purchased. I bought 100 of them a while back. And I just need to get to a page where there's a free one. There we are. So I'm not going to assign the title officially to Bowker yet, just because I'm not quite ready to publish that book, but it's certainly in good enough shape for us to do our demo tonight. It's almost 70,000 words right now. So I'm going to just choose this ISBN since it's currently available and paste it in here. Contributor, me. And that's all that I need right now. Build your book. All right. So you can see here that they have a number of trim sizes, all the basics. We're just going to stick with 6x9. You can choose binding type, which will determine how your cover is laid out. Paperback, hard cover, or dust jacket. I'm going to stick with paperback. Black and white, standard color, premium color, because you can use color just like you would suspect. I only need black and white. You can choose your paper, which these two colors are normally available for your paperback. If you bump up to like a standard color or premium color, it's going to give you the 70-pound white option, which I would strongly recommend. I'm going to stick with the 50-pound white. And for cover finish, I like matte. And now you'll see here at the bottom where it says proceed to interior, proceed to cover. Okay. And so it's kind of hard to do the cover first, only because the interior determines the spine width. Okay. Janie, they do not offer spiral binding. You would need to go to Lulu, lulu.com. They do spiral. All right. So I'm going to choose proceed to interior. Now, you'll see that they have a couple things here: half title, full title, and contents. These are auto-generated, so you don't have to even worry about creating those. On the left, you'll see where they have a number of layouts. Okay, some of them I'm not a big fan of, like this one here, Boston. These two are okay. I like very clean lines. This one's fine, Denver. This one may be fine, but not appropriate for my book. It's a little too gaudy for me personally. I kind of like this, Savannah. What's not to like about Savannah? Hey. So I think that's what I'm going to go with, is Savannah. Are you sure you want to change the layout? Yes. Okay. So a couple things here. Up here it says chapter numbering. You can determine how you want the chapters numbered, which will impact the auto-generated stuff. For me, I think just the standard 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 that kind of thing is good. And then you see body text and rear text. So rear text is basically like your endnotes, end pages, all of those kinds of things. Then you have body text, right? So if you want additional sections in your front matter, which is basically what this is here, your front matter, it says front text, like a dedication or an introduction or acknowledgments or something like that, you can add those by clicking add text. Now, I don't have any of that right now. So then you have the body text and then the rear text, which is your endnotes, like I said. So if you look at this visually, there's nothing here right now, basically, but you have front of the book, middle of the book, back of the book. Okay. So what we want to do now is add text. Okay. So you'll see if I click on here, not really anything going on, but I need some text. So I'm going to come over here to my Evernote document and I'm just going to scroll down and pick some. We'll go to here. Copy that. Paste it in. Okay. Chapter content title. I'm going to just highlight that and delete it. And the number is auto-generated. Okay. And so now what I'm going to do is hit save. Just so that we have it. Now, this is where the formatting and stuff comes in. So we can, what I would recommend doing, it's a lot easier to format everything at once than to go, change this format, this one, so on and so forth. So I'm highlighting all of my text here right now. And then you'll see here where it says styles. I'm going to click on that. And this is our style sheets. Okay. So what I'm interested in is body text. All right. And so the body text style that it will assign is the one that is chosen for the particular template that I chose, which was Savannah. Now that the body text is introduced or is rough formatted, then I can go back here to like the subhead things and choose text heading 1, maybe. Okay. Text heading 2. Yeah, I don't like that. So we'll go with text heading 1. I think that'll work good. Centered, all uppercase. And then maybe I want a drop cap. So I noticed with the body text no indent. So I would choose that. And then maybe highlight the I here and choose drop cap. And by the way, the red underlines is Grammarly, which I have running in my browser. So it actually, is helping me with things that I wrote quickly and doesn't make sense. So we can go through with those changes as well. So now it's just a matter of going through the subheads and assigning them that style, which in this case is text heading. I'm not going to worry about grammar and all that right now. And text head. So this is what is beautiful about using style sheets, is that you don't have to like highlight a certain section of text and then, pick, center and italicize and all of that kind of stuff. You just select text. You don't even have to highlight it. I'm just literally putting my cursor in the middle of it somewhere and clicking the style that I want to assign to it. So it really helps you speed up the formatting process a lot, which is why whenever I worked as a book designer, I had a number of templates, just like what we saw earlier, that I could go in and just pick one, and it made the formatting process for the book itself so much faster. Now, if I wanted to, because of the way this is written currently with the dates and everything, I could do a drop cap on each section. I think that would get a little old after a while, so I'm not really going to worry about that. But we'll just keep going through. And it looks like we're almost done with this whole chapter already. Nope. Whole chapter formatted. I mean, right? Crazy. Mary asked, was your document written in Word and saved in Evernote, or was it written in another program? No, it was written in Evernote. And I still write it in Evernote every day. Now, I think I have some extra spaces in here that I need to get rid of, because I don't need all that extra space between. Let me just scroll down to the bottom. Whoops, I missed one. Actually, I think the style sheet is adding that text or that space, but we don't honestly need it. Now, one thing nobody has asked this, but thought popped into my head. I don't know if you can go in and customize those templates. So like let's say you wanted to change the font for the subheads or whatever. I don't know if it allows you to do that or not. And honestly, I mean, that's just making something that's simple harder. And frankly, there's no need to do that. So, um, we're almost, yeah. All right. Now, one thing that I could add in here if I wanted is chapter one and all that kind of stuff. But what I'm going to do here is hit save. And there you'll see what the formatting actually looks like. So you can see where it's inserting the little one here and the little flourish has the chapter title in here. And then here is all the layout. You can see how it's showing where the page numbers will rest. So literally that fast. Okay. So now I can choose, since I've already saved it, choose exit, add text, and actually, let's just put this in. So I'm going to copy that, paste that all in here. And this is the actual title. Now, just as a qualifier, I wrote all of this a long time ago. I was a very different person. I'm actually in the process of rewriting it all, but it serves as a good reference for what we want to create here. All right, so once again, I'm going to choose body text, no indent, and then drop cap. And so now here you'll see that it automatically converted the bullet points into a bulleted list already. I can make some different changes there if I want, open circles or blocks, but I think it's fine as is. There's an extra space in there, which is my bad. And then we have our text headings. All right. And it looks like I still have an extra space, which I'm going to remove. Now you'll notice that it held all of my bolds and italics that I had in my original document. So that's kind of cool. Now, one thing that we could do, let's say like we have these scripture verses here. I don't know if they have, let's see, hanging indents, text breaks, block text. Maybe that could work or not. um, let's do block text. No, I don't want there. Turn the block text off. Now, increase the indent and yeah, do it that way. So it's all indented. I don't need all of those extra spaces. And actually, that should be up there. So there's going to be a little bit of work that you might have to do, but frankly, it's not that much compared to what you would normally have to do. So basic controls, as you can see up here, you got uh, different types of blocks, which are the formatting characters. You don't really need to see those. You can do align left, right, center, justify, which is pretty standard. And of course, the different styles. And then if you want to insert like a background or a page break, which can come in handy, or an image, which we're not going to do tonight, but we could, you just simply click on one and it'll lead you to choose whatever image you want to use. And so I'm going to hit save. And so here is number 2. Now you got to admit, that's not bad, right? Especially for as fast as we're going through this. So I already have 2 chapters done. And here's what's awesome about it. It's doing all of the formatting. I'm just choosing the style that I want to use. It's auto-generating the table of contents, so I don't have to worry about laying any of that out. And it's auto processing what the spine width is going to be. So I don't have to do any math or anything like that, which is pretty dang awesome if you ask me. And then, so let's say that we're done, right, with the interior. I mean, I've only created 2 chapters, but you get the idea. And so we want to go onto the cover. So when we click onto the cover, you can see where it's updating the page count, it's calculating the spine width, and then it has these templates. Okay. I'm not a big fan of these, as I mentioned. They're very, very basic. And so what I would recommend looking for is if you want to use their design or their fonts or whatever, pick one that best depicts what you're interested in. Okay. If you're going to design your own with images or whatever, that's fine. It even says it right here. Layouts can be edited with your own text and images once chosen. Okay. So let's just go with that one and hit save. So you'll see where it already inserted my name as the author and the title of the book. It shows you your live areas. So where the red is or where the blue is, that's your live area. So you shouldn't have any text or any important part of the image go past where the blue is. And then the brown represents the trim. Okay. Barcode do not remove. That's because they're auto-generating it. Okay, so your barcode is auto-generated based on the ISBN that you enter in. And then down here at the bottom, you'll see that it added my publishing company name, which I can change if I want. So what we can do then, you'll notice the spine is like non-existent because there's not many pages there. So what we can do then is design our own cover if we want and just replace it. Okay. You'll see up here, we can hide the different like text safety. We can turn that on and off. We can turn off the bleed area. We can zoom in. We can add shapes, which whatever. Add text. So like for the back cover copy, and we'll get to that in a minute. This is save. And then for the individual areas, we can come in and we can upload our images here and then drag and drop them in. So what I'm going to do is, what am I going to do? Let's go to Photoshop. Now I generated an AI image earlier of a library. I thought it'd be kind of fun. It's still low resolution, so we have to blow that up, but we'll do that in a minute. So the book is 6x9. So any images that I create for the front and back cover needs to be 6x9 plus an 1/8 inch trim the whole way around. So basically 6 1/4 by 9 1/4 is where we need to be for our front and back images. So where'd it go? Oh, you know what? I have, I bet I know where it went. It went right there. And I knew that because I just reset up my my XP pen that allows you to draw on the screen. And it sees it as a third monitor. I have it turned off, but the computer is set up to have 3 monitors. And so that's what happened. So I'm going to hit open. Y'all don't need to look at my driver's license and stuff. The wonders of setting up wallets for NFTs. All right, so I'm going to pick this image. And so you can see it's pretty small right now. Definitely not the size that I need. I'm going to switch the ruler over to inches. So I'm going to come here in Photoshop to Neural Filters, Super Zoom. And actually, before we do that, I want the image size to be 300. So right now we're at 2.5. So to get me to 6 inches and change, I need basically to 3x this. So Neural Filters and Super Zoom and 3x. And click OK. And so there's that. And then I think I want to flip it because I don't like this big thing over here on the left. Flip horizontal. And just because it's me, I'm going to apply a paint filter to it because I like that. And I've been doing something new that's kind of cool with Topaz Labs Studio 2. They have this, one of their looks, I guess is what they call them. It's called melting. I'm not sure why they call it that, but it's a cool effect. And so we'll hit accept. And then, okay, a little strong. So we'll turn that down a little bit. The image is a little dark for my taste, so I'm going to add an adjustment layer of levels to just kind of darken it down a little. And I may want to tweak the colors just a little. Make it a little more moody. And then one thing that I always do, and I haven't, center lines, always. Now, before I go any further from a design perspective, I need to get this down to my actual size. And so we need 6.25. That makes the height too low, so we'll go 9.25, 300, and then we'll just crop it down to 6.25. We'll call it that. All right. So now I'm just going to put in the text. Library articles. What is this? And I wonder what would be cool looking. I don't want something futuristic. It's got to be kind of like elegant, not playful. Nope. Nope. I've often said that choosing fonts for me has always been the longest part of cover design. I can crank out a complex image in no time, but picking the right font seems to take me forever. That's very cliche. So many fonts. That's a possibility. You know what? I kind of like that in some respects. The thing with fonts, choosing the right font, is you have to keep it easy to read. That's kind of cool too, actually. I think for grins and giggles, we're just going to stick with this for now because it's really tempting for me to go with Trajan because I've used it for years and years, and I don't want to do that. So, space between, where are we? 250. And the word "the" need to be big. And actually, these need to be smaller. Maybe 84. Dun dun dun. All right, let's pick a nice gold color, maybe. And we're gonna have to lighten that. Do like an outer glow of black. Mind you, I'm doing this really fast. Okay. And let's go with copy layer style and paste. Not great, but not horrible. For the sake of this video, it's awesome. All right, so we have a front cover, but in the same document here, we can build out a back cover, which basically I'm going to have resemble the front cover, except what we're going to do, well, first off, I'm going to merge these three, and then I'm going to copy this and flip it. Okay. And then over this, let's turn off the type for a minute. What I'm going to do is add a ghosted layer. I kind of like this bluish. Oh, get back here. And let's see how we want to do this. Maybe just darken it up a little bit. Whenever you have or are designing a back cover, it usually has a lot of text in it, so it has to be easy to read. Okay, so I'm not going to take time to label everything because ultimately I'm not going to keep this, but what we're going to do is I'm going to save this. And we're going to call it Library FC front cover. Okay. Flatten image. Save as. JPEG. Now, does it say that it needs CMYK? It does not say that. All right. History, unflatten the image. And actually, we can leave these on. Turn this guy on. Turn this guy on. Flatten. Save as. Back cover. All right. I'm going to free up some memory here. All right. So now we have, I'm going to browse files. And it takes JPEG or PNG. I would recommend JPEG. PNG is basically uncompressed, but JPEG doesn't hurt anything at all. Okay. So file uploaded. We're going to use as a background. Let's see. We don't need this, so how do we delete it? Oh. That's easy, but it seems odd to me that you can't delete. But it's appearing like it doesn't want to allow me to do that. Huh, how weird. I don't see it as a big thing. If you turn it off, it isn't going to hurt anything. So we have, I guess it didn't upload both at the same time. I thought it would. So let's go back and choose Browse Files and choose the back. And I want this on the back cover. Hooray, hooray. Now, we don't really have much of a spine. Normally I would add like a spine or something. But since we don't really have one, I'm not going to do anything. So, and you'll see here all the various things. So text box, publisher, barcode, author bio, review quotes, book summary. So let's go with that. This book is awesome because Tony wrote it. Wrote it. Okay, and it has an author bio. Tony is an awesome dude. Okay. Now, of course, we can reposition these wherever we want, and if I wanted to add a bio of something or, like of myself or whatever, I should be able to do that pretty easily. So what I would need is a picture of myself. God help us all. Me. That'll work. Place on back cover as an inset. Here we are. Tony's an awesome dude. We have my publishing company. One, two, three. Go a way. Somewhere. EA 16666. All right. So obviously there's more that I could add in here. Full back cover, which I don't have a back cover. Oh, I didn't think about that. Try right corner, click delete. I thought maybe it'd be like a shift delete or something, but I'm not feeling it. That's okay. All right. So anyway, here's my cover, such as it is. So we can hit preview. Now hold the phone, folks. Maybe I forgot something like to save. Oh wait, what's this? There we go. Now let's preview. You gotta love doing stuff live. Much better. Now, obviously, we have this little sliver here because we have no spine. Okay. But we have our front cover, our back cover, all of our text and everything here. And this is just a preview. The font here looks a little on the weak side, but I think that's just because it's the preview. But, all in all, not bad. And so once we're done with everything then, and I'm not going to do this stage because obviously we're not done. But once we're done with everything, we can hit approve my book. and it'll compile everything together. It'll insert the front matter, table of contents, all of that kind of stuff, and auto-generate everything. And so if we click our book info, you'll see that it actually will take us back to all of these choices here. So like if we want to enter in a subtitle after the fact, we can do that. The reason why that could be important is because this is some of the same information that will be submitted if the book is being sold. Okay, so in essence, you are you're also adding in information that will go like to Amazon or whatever. You'll see that it has the current page count, the current spine width. All of that is auto-calculated, which is cool. You'll notice that whenever I updated the address for the publisher, it brought that forward into the book info, which is pretty cool. Well, the author's name is on the cover there, Ganti. As you can see right here. Ta-da. Which gold ID number did you use? I'm honestly not sure. I just sampled it off of the image. Ellen says, I missed a little information here and there as my devices started kicking up a fuss, and then my boss called. But is this the Library Chronicles? Yes, it is. Are you publishing them? Yes, I am. I just started going back through and rewriting some of the early stuff because I was told to. But I'm still getting downloads for it every day, so I'm not quite sure how that's all going to work. Maybe I'll just publish it from whenever I started up through the end of this year, and then everything that I get starting next year will be book 2 or something. I mean, I got several paragraphs today and yesterday and day before. Some of it, this year's writing has been really interesting because the overarching theme for a lot of the downloads that I got this year is about life beyond the veil. And there's some crazy shit in it. I'll tell you what. It's fascinating. So that's it in a nutshell, how this works. It's very simple and straightforward. Yes, you need stuff to put in, obviously. But I think overall, as speaking as a former book designer, it's pretty freaking awesome, I think. Yes, Karen, you should be able to do that. No problem. Does anybody have any other comments or questions regarding what we demoed? We as in I. Val says, you're getting really, really good at those images. Thanks, Val. Honestly, you have no idea. Some of the stuff that I've been working on, which, by the way, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but I'm going to. Last Thursday, I had a video call with Adam, the creator of Accomplice. And so we talked about 45 minutes. And he shared some of his some of the things that he's working on, which he's updating the website right now. It was down the last I checked because of updates. And I shared some of my things. We're going to do a couple joint projects together. I'm working on something for him right now for the website. And all that I will tell you is some of the new stuff that's coming to Accomplice. It's going to be damn awesome. I'm really hoping, the one thing especially, it was something that I've repeatedly asked for, because I always send him laundry lists. Hey, did you think about doing this? And could you add that and all of that? And so one of them he's been actively working on for a couple of weeks. I don't know when it's going to go live, but when it does, if he can nail it, and he's really close, there is no other software on the planet that does what this will do. And that's exciting. Ganti says, love the cover and your demo. Thank you. Ellen says, just that it's super cool. If Adobe isn't careful, they're going to find themselves playing catch up. Not really. Not with some of the stuff that Adobe has in the works. They're actually shifting attention a bit with their whole new Surface suite and all of that. Adobe is actually repositioning themselves in a lot of ways, especially with like Photoshop and stuff. They're shifting to go hardcore NFT. They're adding a whole set of tools just for creating NFTs and publishing straight to, or like minting right out of Adobe, which is pretty awesome. Gary says, when did Jay make a movie deal with Disney on his Wimpy Kid book? He didn't, as far as I know. Wimpy Kid isn't his. That's somebody else's. I mean, he has a line of books on, I forget what his character name is. Nancy says that Accomplice is back up now. Cool. I'll have to check it out when I'm done. See what he added, if anything. Some of it is practical stuff. One of the things that we also talked about was adding in a pro level for variable renders and ultra high resolution renders and stuff like that. But you'd have to have a pro level account to access that stuff. So I don't know timelines of when things are being released, but I know we talked about a lot, and it's really exciting, and he's a super cool guy. So I'm pretty much committed to that program and working with him in the future. Who knows where it'll go, but it's I've been very grateful for that open door. All right, so one last thing here. Vicky asked, is formatting only for IngramSpark? Yes. And Ganti says he's looking forward to the Thursday training. Yes. So this is the new course that's starting Thursday, NFT Art Creator. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be very foundational. My goal is to explain the entire process to you, but the primary focus is art. Okay. Because if you create shit art, you're not going to make any sales. So, and trust me, there is a lot of crap art out there on OpenSea and other places. And so I want to see you guys succeed. I mean, come on, serious. And if any of this is yours, I apologize, but in my opinion, it's all crap. And so we're going to go through a simple explanation, especially in Module 1. We're going to lay down all of the terms that you're going to need to be familiar with, how NFTs work, what they are, the best types of art to consider, all that. Module 2, we're going to get into the design. There's a lot of copyright issues and trademark violations and all of that on the various sites. I'm going to point some of those out and steer you wide and clear of those because, I know a thing or two about copyrights, teaching on public domain and all. And then Module 3, we're going to talk about generative art, which is where you have like the same basic character, but some of them have like weird hats and different backgrounds and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to show you how to create that because that's actually a pretty big thing with NFTs in some cases. And then in the final module, bonus module, we're going to look at the marketplaces, how to mint your first NFTs, gas fees, and how to avoid them. Marketing your NFTs, all that kind of stuff, so that you can actually make sales. Show you what I've been working on. I was going to wait till Thursday, but I can show you now. Actually, I'll show you this way. Oh, it already did it. So I've been publishing my bears to OpenSea, and I have one sold already. I think just one. Yeah, number 1 sold already. I just added this one today and this one yesterday. So I'm working on a series of 20 for the initial run. So these are AI generated, kind of, but they are not straight out of the box AI. So in other words, to create these bears, I'm generating 4 or 5 images and then combining them in Photoshop and using some Photoshop wizardry and all of that kind of stuff to get these. They're weird and goofy and all of that, but it's part of who I am. I'm weird and goofy, and I'm a bear, so sort of, kind of. But anyway, this is my home on OpenSea right now, and I'll be sharing some other stuff as well. There's many more platforms than OpenSea, and I'll be sharing what those are, the best ones. But anywho, and right now I just have them all priced at 0.05 ETH, which is, well, ETH is kind of down right now. So it's a little over $200. I think when number 1 sold, it was at 240 or something like that. Nope. People don't want or need to know how you created them. They just want them because they want them. So I haven't set this part up yet because you can go in and edit them after the fact, edit how it's set up, and I may make a change. One thing that I've been really weighing out is adding canvas wraps for the purchaser. So, because you can add in specialty type things so that if somebody purchases it, they get whatever you want. So I could go in there and it's lockable content. So whenever they purchase it, this window opens up and says, you get a 16 by 16 canvas wrap of your image. I just need your name and email address, or name and mailing address, and I'll send it to you. Yeah, you can determine all of that, Ganti, and I'll be explaining all of that in the new course. Yeah, you can use like digital photo frames and stuff, Leslie. You've probably seen those, where you can just load images onto a card, plug the card into digital photo frame. You can display them that way, or if you do physical copies or whatever. Plus, you also have collections. Like everybody who buys has a collection, so they can view them that way. But yeah, I'll be talking about all of that in detail as we get into it. But anyway, thank you, Vicky. Yeah, you of all people here, I know you would like them. you're you're a weirdo like I am, and I appreciate that about you. So anyway, so if you haven't signed up yet, I just posted the link in the chat. If you want to go sign that up, sign up for it. We're starting on Thursday. The one thing that I'll tell you is right now, even though it's 4 modules, it's only priced at $47. Friday, this price is going to $97. And by the end of the year, it's going to $197. As soon as I finish the course, which is the 30th. On the 31st, the price is going to $197. And there's some specific reasons for that, which I will not divulge right now. Kristen and I are planning on teaching probably 2 more courses on NFTs, like more advanced courses, next year, first quarter of next year. But for now, I think I'm just teaching this one. I don't know if she's joining me on it or not. She's welcome to, of course, but hey. Yeah, the reason why I price is so low right now is because I want to help you guys get started in this. I believe in it. I'm shifting a big chunk of my business in this direction for next year. NFTs and cryptocurrency. That's where I'm heading. Not exclusively, but in a big way. Does anybody else have any other comments or questions? Oh, well, happy birthday, Vicky. Yeah, going back to the IngramSpark book designer thing, for many of you, I really would recommend taking a hard look at it. I mean, it's fairly easy to use, and you could see from the demos that we did that, especially for the interior layout, man, it's pretty dang awesome. I mean, I doubt that I personally would use it, but only because, I mean, I've been a book designer since 1993, so I kind of know that market really well, and I'm very comfortable with InDesign, and that's what I use. So, you know, I would much prefer the additional control that you have with InDesign for my own books, but yeah. But still, this is a great option. The NFT course is the only live course I will be teaching the rest of this year, Ganti. I have 2 more products that are going to be coming out before the end of the year. One is smaller, on I forget what it's on. Art prints, I think. And then the other is going to be on AI audio, a 3-module course on AI audio, music, text to voice, sound effects, stuff like that. But I'm pre-recording it all. I haven't started it yet. I will be next week. But wait till you see some of the new product ideas that I'm working on with regard to AI audio. It's damn awesome, I have to say. It's going to be pretty cool. But those will be out before the end of the year. And then that'll be it. 2 more things, and that's it. Unless, like, you know, some giant aha hits me in the middle of the night or something. I always reserve the right to create more products, but Leslie says, any hints about what's coming next year? Well, as I mentioned, there's going to be 2 more NFT courses, more advanced stuff. And beyond that, I really don't know for sure. Kristen and I are in the process. I'm just trying to think how much I want to share here. So we are actively working on selling our retail store. Okay. Not because it's failing, anything but. In 2019, we were averaging $4,000 to $5,000 a month. Right now, we're averaging $12,000 to $16,000 a month. 2020 was 2.5x over 2019. 2021 is 200% over 2020. And so it's doing really well, which is awesome. However, that said, we have big plans. We want to go mobile, and we want to do full-time RV and work from the road. We both used to do that a lot, and then the retail stores kind of pinned us down for 4 years, and we're over that. So we're actively looking for a buyer, and I think we're going to find one. We have a couple people who are interested in, and so we want to sell off the store, and move on from that. I'm still planning on continuing teaching and everything, but some of that's going to shift. We are actively building businesses. One of them we kind of put on pause for a little bit, which is Magical Bear. We have all the foundation stuff done, the website's done, and we have products up and selling, both in our store and other places and online. But we've both been really busy with our, like Kristen with Nerdvana and me with the teaching stuff, that we haven't been doing a lot with it lately, but that's actively and very much so changing, so that we can continue building that business. So those of you who are in the Magical Bear behind the scenes thing, that's not done. We're actually just getting started with some of the really super cool stuff. Some of the new products that we're working on are just crazy, but I can't tell you what they are. And then, as I showed you, Cryptic Bear is the NFT brand that I have a lot planned for this. Holy cow. Wait till you find out on Thursday. I'll share some of what I'm working on behind the scenes. It's insane. Not just bears, but so there's going to be more of a focus on some of that kind of stuff in the new year. So still, product development and different things like that, art and different things like that. I have a couple things that I'm thinking about related to public domain, but I'm not quite sure yet. We'll see. The types of things that I'll be teaching on next year will be related to what I've been teaching on, but there's some things that I probably won't teach on at all next year, like publishing. I don't see any scenario at this point where I'll be teaching on publishing. I probably won't be teaching on photography, not because I'm not doing it. I shoot photos nearly every day, but there doesn't seem to be as much interest there. So we'll see. I really don't know. I just literally make this shit up as I go along. Tongue in cheek. Oh, I will be doing a lot with AI art, Val. There's some new things coming out. New software programs and stuff that isn't public knowledge that I'm going to be focusing on. So yeah, you can absolutely expect that. Yep. some of the new stuff that Adobe's working on that isn't available yet could be serious game changers. I expect next year to really explode with the AI art, especially based on how things have gone the second half of this year. Yeah, Ganti, the Magical Bear, there's probably 70 or 80 hours of videos on that site now. Several of you have asked if I am having a special price for all my courses for 2022. I'm still debating. At this stage of the game, here at the beginning of December, I'm a pretty hard no. I may change my mind, and there's a specific reason why. And I'll just share it with you since, we're here and talking and all of that. The reason why I'm seriously considering not doing that is because of what I ran into this year. And what I mean by that is the way I created the website to promote the full year, I committed to a specific number of courses, and I'll be delivering on that number because that's what I said. But I don't want to be in that scenario, where all of a sudden for 2022, I have to produce 24 courses or whatever, because I probably won't. I don't want to be locked into a number. I may only do 10 next year. That's actually the number that I've been leaning toward. Or maybe one a month or something. I don't know yet. There's a lot that we have in the spinning plates that we haven't really talked about publicly that are going to radically change our approach to things. And so there may be some things that I'm teaching on that are more metaphysical that you may not be interested in. So I don't want to, I want to honor everything that I say that I'll do, but I also don't want to lock you guys into something that you may not be interested in. So that's why I'm leaning toward no, but I'm going to be giving it a lot more thought and talk to Kristen about it. We're making some seriously radical changes. And some of those are still playing out. Like, some things need to happen in the next several months. Like, if we are indeed doing full-time RV, which we are, we have 5,000 square feet here that we need to clear out, plus 3 storage units and a store if the store doesn't sell. So 5,000 square feet of stuff down to 350 square feet. Yeah. It's been stressful. Like, what the hell are we going to do with all this? Why did we accumulate all of this? So that's some of the stuff that we're working on behind the scenes, so to speak. Thank you, Ganti and Ellen, for what you shared there. Jim says, you don't need to promise a certain number, just make it available because we know the value of whatever you put out. Thanks. That means a lot. And that's my goal. Don't get me wrong. I love to teach. I love this stuff. I love interacting with you guys. Some of you have been with me for 10 years or more, and some of you are newer, but I love it. And frankly, I think I shared this before, but one of the reasons why Kristen and I want to go full-time RV is because it gives us the opportunity to see the country. But one of the plans that we have in visiting different areas around the country is to have meetups with our customers. So go down to Georgia. The devil went down to Georgia. And say, hey, we are in this area in Georgia. Come over and see us on this day and hang out with us. Like, that's what we want to do. Face-to-face stuff is along with courses and products and all of that. So we're really excited about that. We really are looking forward to doing that, to get out of Dodge, Pennsylvania, and get out, meet people, dig for rocks, teach on the road, do whatever we will decide to do. Julia says 1 a month would be great. And yes, I could go catch up with some of the ones I didn't fully watch over the last many years. Yeah, I've been kind of fire hosing over the last 3 years. Sorry about that, but I've had a lot to say. But anywho. Yeah, so if any of you all know really great places to dig for rocks and crystals and stuff like that, absolutely let us know. We're definitely going to New York to dig for Herkimer diamonds, and we're definitely going to Arkansas to dig for quartz, and some other places, we're planning on going as well. So that'll be fun. Yeah, that'd be cool, Ellen. We'd enjoy that. Well, I really appreciate your feedback. It means a lot. That's why I haven't made up my mind yet, because I appreciate the feedback, and we'll see what we see. Yeah, Idaho's another one, Brenda, that we're definitely planning on going to. And Utah, my word, Arizona. Yeah, I've never been to Montana either. Kristen has, but I haven't. So that's going to be another one. I mean, there's so many places to go, right? And our goal isn't to just like do drive-bys, like spend a couple days in an area. We want to spend like weeks or a month or two in every area. Laura says a course on where to go for rock hounding. Serious. Like, we watch on YouTube, there's a guy called the Crystal Collector. I don't know if any of you follow him. He's awesome, and he goes to a lot of the great dig sites. And yeah, we see some of the stuff that he finds, and we just shake our heads with drool coming out of our mouths. It's like, oh my gosh. But Kristen and I, ever since we were kids, both have been interested in rock hounding. I've done it ever since I was a kid. So is she. Whenever my girls were little, I would drag them up tailing piles to look for crystals and stuff. I mean, it was a good time. Yeah, there definitely will be rock shops. Fortunately for us, I mean, we have a lot of rocks already. A lot. Way more than we should probably. But fortunately for us, there is a weight limit to RVs, like additional weight that you can add. So when it comes to rocks, I think that'll help keep us disciplined to not go crazy. We are planning on selling a lot of the rocks that we find. Probably eBay or something like that, or Etsy. I haven't decided yet, but anywho. All right, folks. Well, thank you all for hanging out here. I really appreciate your comments and your feedback and everything. I hope you found tonight's training useful. I was really surprised when I saw the email. Well, actually, when I first got the email from IngramSpark, I was like, uh-oh, because I remembered how the Amazon's layout project was. But I was pleasantly surprised. Overall, I think it's a good one. So Anywho, thank you all very much. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will reconvene here next Tuesday night at 6 p.m.